It's tricky, we know, to be here as leading edge creators, exposed to all this variety and contrast. And out of the contrast, you come to a new, clear conclusion of something you want. And sometimes you are uncomfortable with that newly hatched desire and no plan to fulfill it. When you know what you want, but you have no idea how to get it. When's it going to come? Who's going to come with it? How's it going to get here? Then you often feel uncomfortable. And that's why we harass you by saying, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? Because when you reach the place that you can say and mean, not like today, when you can say and mean, yes, there is something more that I want, and it has not yet come to physical fruition, and I have no way of knowing how it's going to come about. But the fact that the desire is alive within me gives me reason to rejoice. And we want so much for you to, by the time we finish this gathering here today, feel that way about those unfulfilled desires, because there will always be another and another and another and another, because the expansion of the universe depends on that. You are source energy primarily, and a part of that non-physical you is expressing itself here in this physical body. But even though you are here as the you that you know as you recognize the way you look, you recognize the way you feel, you recognize your personality, your mood, your attitude. You have this clear perspective of self. Even though that you does exist, we acknowledge you sitting in your clumps on your chairs. You exist as this physical being, but you are in your physicalness an extension of a much larger, non-physical, swirling energy you. And when you recognize that those two parts of you exist always as you are here in this physical body, you cannot separate yourself from that source energy version of you. When you recognize that and acknowledge that part of you, and begin paying attention to the guidance that is within you that lets you know how in alignment or not you are with that part of you, then you begin to live life in the way you intended when you came forth. So I want to tell you how this works. So you are source energy in your non-physical perspective. That's that eternal part of you, pure positive energy, powerful creative energy. And then you express a part of that consciousness into this physical body. And as you're here in this physical body, you explore, you observe, and you come to constant new conclusions of what you would prefer, just like you knew you would. And when that preference builds within you, it literally, as all things that you think do, it radiates from you vibrationally, sort of like a rocket of desire. Now, this next part is the part that we think many of our physical friends don't remember. When, from your physical expression, a new desire is born, the source energy part of you rides that rocket of desire, gives undivided attention to that new idea or preference. This is what the expansion of all species is about. This is what the expansion of the universe is about. You got to remember that you're giving birth to your desires. You're not setting the tone for the entire universe. You're not setting the tone for the entire world. You're giving birth to your desires, and you should know. You should know. You know when you are rude, you want to be nicer. When someone's rude to you, you want them to be nicer. When you're sick, you want to be well. When you don't have enough of something that you want or need, you want it. Life just keeps causing you to come to these determinations. And when you do, the source energy part of you rides that rocket, but even more, becomes the vibrationally equivalent of this new expanded version of you. Now, the question is, and it's the only question really that we think is ever important for you in your physical leading edge genius creative form to ask, the only question that is ever really important is, from your viewpoint, am I letting myself right now in this moment be the expanded version of me that life has caused me to become? And the answer is given to you through the way you feel, because if you feel passion, if you feel enthusiasm, if you feel love or appreciation, you're right there with that expanded version of you. But if you feel doubt or worry or fear or disappointment or guilt or blame or anger or revenge or fear or depression or any of those negative emotions, that means that even though the expanded version of you exists, and the inner being part of you, the source part of you, the God force part of you has taken your idea and become it. When you feel those negative emotions, what it always means is you're beating the drum of a different thought, which is activating a different vibration within you, and you are, by your attention to that, setting up contradictory vibration, which means you're not a vibrational match to who you have become, and in not being the vibrational match to who you have become, you don't feel so good. When you are a vibrational match to who you have become, you feel really, really good. So what does this call of source sound like? How do you know? Magellan's easy to hear. Jerry says, shut that broad up. Magellan, the navigational system, she has very forthright instructions. But what does your call of source sound like? Well, it depends on where you are in relationship to it. If you are bright and fluffy, if you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, if you are feeling appreciation and love and joy, and you are listening for the call of source, it feels like exhilaration. It feels like passion. It feels like, ooh, what a good idea. It feels like, ooh, I really want to do that. It feels like, let me go that way. But if you are in despair, even though source is still calling you, always, eternally, always calling you, if you're in despair, the call of source doesn't sound that bright and friendly. Not like harps and angels. Not like goosebumps and raptures. Sounds more like revenge. Truly. It's an interesting thing. So let's say you're in despair, you are truly depressed, and source is calling you toward all of that. Now, the thing you have to remember is, in your darkest moments, you give birth to your strongest rockets of desires. So all that contrast you've been living has caused you to ask and ask and ask and ask. If you could see this vibrational escrow, we love those words, don't you? This vibrational escrow, this future you that is not far away if you could just find vibrational alignment with it. This vibrational escrow of you, this expanded version of you, is ever calling you toward it. And when you turn in the direction of it, you feel the relief of turning in the direction of it. For a while, we called this gathering the science of deliberate creation. Really a lovely word. Deliberate creation is so delicious. It's so much more fulfilling to identify something that you want and then give your attention to it, and little by little train yourself into vibrational alignment with it, and then watch the manifestations begin to swirl in around it to feel the fulfillment of your hands-on deliberate creation. Oh, there is such power in that. Such a feeling of satisfaction, such a feeling of fulfillment because it's who you are and why you came. So the science of deliberate creation we thought was a perfect title. Science meaning ever expanding, ever changing, ever growing. Not like religion. Religion, they dig up some old books and they say, this is it. Live your life by these books. But I don't understand. I can't get that threaded through that. I don't understand. How does the camel apply to me now? I don't have a camel. The science of deliberate creation, always expanding, taking what has come before and applying what you are now asking for and expanding into the new, improved place. So we thought it was a wonderful title, except that it made you all worry about your thoughts. We saw you. You'd think a thought and then you'd go, cancel, try to suck it back before law of attraction gets hold of it. And we say to you, it's about allowing. So now we are calling this the art of allowing. The art of allowing me in my physical human form to get up to speed with who life has caused me to become. You don't even have to be up to speed with who you've become. In fact, you never can be, because life is causing you to become. There's always going to be something more that you have become, and that's why the current is always flowing. We don't want you to ever get caught up with all that you have become, but it is ever so delicious to get going in the direction of that. And it's ever so uncomfortable to be turned in opposition. As we're talking today with you about whatever you want to talk about, we'll demonstrate whether you're moving with or against the current, this powerful current of life that was established by you even before you got here and has been added to so powerfully since you've gotten into this physical body. We want you to get the sense that your life and what you're living is what's causing your river to move as fast as it is. And your thoughts right here in the moment are what are determining whether you're moving with the flow or not. A fast-moving river that you're moving with is an exciting, delicious, fulfilling life. A fast-moving river that you're in opposition to is torturous. But we promise you, friends, you would take a fast-moving river, no matter what your position in it, every time over a stagnant pond. Now, you don't think you would, but we promise you would. We saw you coming in. We remember the enthusiasm with which you came forth. Not one of you said, I'll go forth, I'll get it all figured out, and I'll teach others the right way to live. Not one of you said, I'll go forth, I'll see what's going on, we'll whittle all of these ideas down to a handful of really good ideas, and then we will insist that everybody else live by these ideas. Not one of you said that because you understood that the variety or contrast would give birth to the new idea, and that the new idea is the excellence of life, that the new idea is the expansion of the universe. But it is not fun to have given birth to a new idea and then to be in vibrational opposition to it. And so we can understand when we say to you, well, friends, are you enjoying the expansion of your life? That you would say, well, sort of, kind of, maybe. And we say, are you appreciating those new desires? And you say, yes. And we say, and are you especially appreciating those things you want that have not yet come to fruition? And about then you say, give me a break, you're pushing too hard. But we want you to reach the place where it doesn't matter to you if it is manifested or not, because the idea that life has caused you to give birth to it means the stream is flowing. And unless you're in opposition to the stream, you're moving in the direction of it. And that's a wonderful life. Can you imagine if Jerry and Esther said to the river guide, where will this boat come out of this river? And he would say, oh, several miles downstream, close to Fort Collins. And so Esther would say to him, well, you know, we would like to put our raft back on the bus and drive it down the canyon, and then we'll put it in the river about 50 feet from where we're going to take it out because we like instant manifestation. And he would say, whatever you want, crazy lady, but I thought you wanted a ride on the river. And that's what we want to say to you. We thought you wanted a ride on the river. You didn't come forth to get it done. We don't see any of you say, I'm going to go on vacation and I'm going to go here, 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 here. I'm at home and then I'll go there, 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 and then I'll come back home. We don't see any of you say, now, wait a minute. Home is my final destination and I'm already home. Why go? Why go? Just check vacation off the list. Vacation accomplished. You don't go on the vacation to get it done. You go because it's fun. You go for new things to see. You go for new stimulation, for new experiences. You go for new opportunities. You go for the experience of going. You don't go to get it done. And you did not come into this life experience to get it done. You came for the joy of living. You didn't come to give birth to a new idea in order to accomplish it, in order to get your mark on the chart. You came forth to give birth to an idea so that you could move in the direction of it, so that you could feel the power of the current of the river, so that you could feel the excellence of the way the universe responds to the vibrational frequency of what you're asking for, so that you could see the power of things coming into manifestation. You are a creator, and you like to create. If you were sculpting clay and you say, oh, I've made this beautiful statue, isn't it beautiful? And people would say to you, and now what are you working on? And you say, nothing. I made that 25 years ago, and I've been standing next to it ever since, just pointing at it. This represents my life experience. I was born to do this. And we say, you weren't born to do a thing. You were born to explore contrast. You were born to give birth to ideas. You were born to experience the nitty-gritty of this leading-edge time-space reality because you want to be in on the expansion of the universe. It's the expanding universe that feels good in your belly as you let it happen, you see. But when you expand in a way and you don't let yourself go with the expansion, then that tug-of-war takes place. So you're getting it, aren't you? Every negative emotion, no matter how strong or mild it is, means you're pointed in opposite direction of what you are wanting. And so When you get a sense of the way you feel and the power and importance of it, and you begin to let it help you quantify your journeys, then you begin to have a wonderful time long before you have the fruition of something, because moving in the direction of it is such an exhilarating life experience. As you begin to understand that this river of life is always flowing and that you are contributing to it massively, and you stop beating the drum of what's wrong. In other words, when the contrast of life helps you to know you want more money, the source energy part of you says, yes, of course, and becomes the vibrational equivalent. You have a veritable fortune amassed for you vibrationally.